if you'll bear with me here, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. I've had a request from somebody who wanted to have a better perspective of where the gardens and weed patches are located here. I would have sent them a link, because I know I've done this in previous videos for other people rather than doing this again, but it's unfortunately is one of those comments that you cannot reply to. I don't understand why that is. If anybody can figure that out, let me know. But I get 2 or 3 a week that there's no way of giving a reply. So if you're watching, this is for Starlight, is your name on the comment. I'm sorry that I couldn't reply to you, but walking down to the house here, and now I'll take you down around the side and show you where the coops are located. You see these areas with like shavings. That's shavings and manure out of the chicken coops. First put down cardboard and then put that on top of it. It's called sheet mulching. And those are 3 elderberry plants that I just received a couple of weeks ago. And I had this one since last year. This is a snowball viburnum, which is still very small, but is putting on some reasonable growth. And these are my plum trees, and I've got plums, tiny little green plums. So take a look down here at the coops, and that'll give you an idea of where they're located. All the hens are lined up at the gate because they hear me coming. They think they're going to get out. Not now, girls, a little bit later. And that's the quail coop over there. And the one in the middle is another small chicken coop, but right now it just has roosters in it. And we'll walk out to the area where the hoop house and the cabin and my other gardens are located. This particular area here has been, well, for the last 3 or 4 years, very wet. Exceedingly wet now. We just had 2 major rainstorms, but it was all dug up by moles underground, and that's what I blame turning it into a quagmire. But anyway, I put down a path, cinder blocks with planks on top of them, and asphalt shingles on top of the planks for traction. I no longer have to struggle trying to pull my boot back out of the mud until that dries up. Hopefully one of these days things will dry up. And we are arriving at where the hoop house is. The area there, it was more, well, I never had anything called a formal garden, but it's sort of got overrun. There's an area in the middle there where I have a couple of beds that I'll show you in a minute, but around those borders are just some large bushes now of, I see a azalea, that orange thing over there, and the white ones are roses, and directly in front of me here are black currants. There's the cabin. And off to the left of the cabin is my perennial fruit and vegetable area. And out past the side of the cabin here is where the beds and the 2, 3, 4-foot square raised beds with potatoes in grow pots in between. And over there is the other bed with just my onions and weeds. I still have not got that weeded. Every day I think I'm going to get it weeded, and we either have a big thunderstorm that makes it wet, or we get a day of full rain. So if it doesn't rain tonight, hopefully tomorrow will be the day I'll get the weeding done. And to close this off, this is taking you through what used to be the flower bed, where I have 2 more beds, my garlic and the higher raised bed in behind there with rapini and chard and kale and small turnips, and this bed over here that I showed in the last video, which hasn't changed all that much. Well, that was for you, Starlight. I hope that that was what you were looking for. Today was the first day of summer, and did it ever rain? And by the way, if someone can explain why the 21st, the summer solstice, is often referred to as midsummer, I don't quite understand that when it's the first day of summer. I have 2 rain gauges, neither one, as I keep saying, are scientifically accurate or anything like that. This one measures in inches, and it says that we had roughly 3 inches. I have a smaller one up at the house which says we had about 56, 57 millimeters. And we were forecast to get plus 40 millimeters, so like I say, I don't think these things are accurate, but gives you an idea that it was a heavy downpour of a rainstorm. And I want to show you my rain barrel. If I can get over the fence here. At least I know that I got it set up level. I actually did put a level on it and put a board under one side of it there to get it level, but water seeks its own level and it's full right to the brim the whole way across. So it'll be quite a while yet before I need to use any of it after that amount of rain yesterday. Well, I'm going in the hoop house. I've been taking a refresher course on Woody's allotment channel on how to prune my summer pruning of the grapes, and I'm about to do some of that this morning. Well, as I readily admit, I don't know much about grapes or grapevines, but I've been following Woody's allotment channel, and he does some excellent videos on showing us amateurs how to use them, how to keep them pruned properly. And I had the best success I ever had last year after following his instructions, so I'm going to try to stick to them again this year. This should look quite a bit different when I finish here in a few minutes. I'll take some time-lapse photography, I guess, while I'm doing it. Well, I won't guarantee that what I did was always the right thing to do. I've left probably more than should be left on there, but I want to wait until they've all finished blooming and see if there's anything else there that I think I can take off so that I'll get some larger grapes. And I won't attempt to explain what I did because I really don't know what I'm doing. I have to go watch Woody's videos again every time. And take a refresher course. So what I will do is in the description below, I'll put a link to Woody's channel, and he did a series last summer, so you look back through his videos to last summer on how to prune and tend your grapevines. An excellent series, and certainly has worked very well for me. Mine don't look as nice as Woody's do, but they're coming along. I'm starting to get laterals that go the full width of the hoop house, so should be even better next year, I guess, but we'll see later on this summer what I get out of it this year. What I'm about to show you is on my little front deck. I may have to zoom in so that you can see it. They're completely harmless, but nevertheless I still freeze every time I see one. Garter snake or garden snake or whatever you want to call it. That one's over a foot long, probably a foot and a half, sunning himself or herself. I have a thing called a Japanese juniper in this garden just off to the left a bit, and they live in it and come out on top of it and sun themselves all summer long. Well, I probably should have waited and this gets fully bloomed out, but we're due to have more rain this afternoon and overnight. This is the 23rd now. This is the native salsify, the one that I've had in my garden for, I don't know, many years. I think I'm the one that brought it to the local area, though. I never saw it before as a wildflower here, and this produces a large seed head like a dandelion, only 10 times larger. And I have seen it move from here to distances quite far away. It'll set up root Well, they might blow on the wind a few hundred yards the first time, but then that one grows and they go on a little further. Anyway, I want to show you the difference between this and the one that Rob, the old gardener guy in Finland, sent me. And this is the variety that Rob sent me. It had a blossom almost ready to bloom out the other day, and that heavy rain snapped it off. So I thought before we get more rain, I had better take a few video clips of it. Very nice, Rob. I like that. Hope that forms those nice big seed heads and spreads around here in various places. Well, just a couple of things to show you, and then that will be the end of this. These large pots are an excellent excuse not to have to weed. I have planted some sunflowers in them, and these are violas that made it through the winter. I transplanted those in there. But all that other stuff that's looking very weedy, I don't know what's weeds and what's flowers. I had one of those free packets that you get from a seed company. West Coast Seeds, I think, gave me this one of wildflower seeds. I have two of these pots, and I sprinkled it on the surface. And I suspect a lot of that is the various flowers that will hopefully bloom later on this summer, but I suspect some of it's weeds too. I just don't know which is which. I don't know if you can make out the 5 tall bamboo canes or not, but you'll be surprised at what's at the base of them. The bamboo canes are not there as a support for anything. They're to keep me from walking on top of the latest edition here. I brought out a sheet of white paper, so hopefully you can see it. I have 5 Saskatoon berries, and I got them from a Canadian company, and I knew they wouldn't be large, but I think they're a bit smaller than I thought they would be. They appear to me to be 1-year-old rooted cuttings, and what I liked about them, though, they were shipped dormant, even though they weren't shipped until the 8th of June. They must have had them in cold storage because they were completely dormant. And all 5 are leaving out, so if I can keep from stepping on them in a year or two's time, I guess, hopefully we'll get to see what a Saskatoon berry is like. I don't know if they grow around here anywhere. I've never tasted one. So. Well, that concludes the main part of this video, and what follows now is a minute of silliness. I've done a trailer, or a teaser, for a video series that I'm going to do this summer, and the first one will be coming out next weekend, so this one of these little trailers done with iMovie. Thank you very much for watching.